Hello, welcome back to the Cricket Nerds. All three of the nerds back together to talk about the IPL auction. We are reacting to each and every team. So if you haven't seen your team yet, or if you're interested in IPL auction at all, don't forget to subscribe and you'll tune into all of them. Members get early access to all these videos, just another thing. Okay, so today we're going to be talking about Chennai Super Kings, Benji's beloved Chennai. How they performed at the auction. I reckon we go straight to you, Benj. What were your just general feelings towards it? How happy are you with how Chennai did at the auction?
I tell you what, I was really happy at the start of the auction. I think picking up Ranchan Ravindra for 1.8 crore, fantastic. Exactly, fills a bit of cover for Moeen Ali. Has had a fantastic World Cup just gone. Bring back Shardul Thakur. I think that was a brilliant buy as well. And then they go and waste 14 crore on Daryl Mitchell. And all my hopes and dreams crumbled. Like, I'm sure that the Daryl Mitchell replacement is something to do with, let's replace Ben Stokes. He's a similar player, offers a bit of right arm, seam bowling, and can bat in the top four. But it's just Daryl Mitchell is one of those players that is just such a boring player where he's like, yeah, he's a match winner. Yeah, he can win you a game, but he's just a bit boring, isn't he? Like, I don't think he's 14 crore worthy. Like, he would not get into my starting 11.
Well, I think
but he's going to have to be
about
because he's 14 crore.
Well, one thing we talked about in the last podcast is this idea that it doesn't matter how expensive someone is because teams have the money to just keep outbidding other teams. Like you look at how Sunrisers got Pat Cummins and they kept going up with Royal Challengers. The same with Mitchell Stark for KKR. And I don't think it's the end of the world if those players don't play in their 11s, in their first 11s. The fact is they've got them in their team for the balance, for the option to have them there. And I think Daryl Mitchell, yes, you spent 14 crore on him. I would put him in my first choice 11/12 for Chennai, but at the same time, I don't think they need to. I don't think there's any pressure for them to do that, even though they spent lots of money on him. I don't think it's a cert like it was maybe 3 or 4 years ago. I'm not sure your thoughts, James.
On Daryl Mitchell or just Chennai's performance in the auction altogether?
Both.
I think the overall performance, they've got a really good side. They've filled some gaps, not all of them. They don't have a death bowler still. They've got a really balanced looking 11 and or 12. They won the IPL last year, so that they were in a pretty decent position to start with. Reuniting Deepak Chahar with Shardul Thakur is brilliant, and they'd managed to do that at a really good price as well. I think he only went for 4 crore or something, which was an absolute bargain. Daryl Mitchell was a weird one for me because Punjab were also bidding really high for him. They went up to 13.75. It was between Punjab and Chennai who was going to get him. I don't know why. I certainly don't see the role that he plays in a Punjab side. At Chennai, I think he makes a bit more sense. Again, he's not worth 14 crore, but as Zach said, each team has 100 crore. It's just, you call it 100 crore worth of squad. You don't need to kind of divide it up between the players and get psyched out too much. That being said, it didn't make a whole lot of sense to me. I think there were other players that could have done as I don't know, a better job, because I don't know how much they'll use him for his bowling. I don't know how useful Daryl Mitchell's bowling is. And also, it does feel like a recency bias pick based on the World Cup. So does Ranchan Ravindra, because neither of those two players are incredibly explosive in T20. Ranchan Ravindra certainly hasn't got any, certainly doesn't have the stats behind him for T20s. And Daryl Mitchell is a very, very accomplished ODI and Test player, not super accomplished in T20. He's still a brilliant batter, and I'm sure he'll do a great job for CSK. But it did seem a bit weird to me, and I don't completely understand why they went for him. That being said, CSK look really strong. and I think they've filled some gaps with the players they've brought in. I'm quite interested to know what you guys have picked as your 12s, because I've got a feeling we might have all picked slightly different ones. So
Yeah.
I reckon like they'll all pop up on the screen. I'll go first, and if there are different ones, then we can pop them up as we go.
Just before you do, I'd want to just ask you about Samir Rizvi, because as our resident side Mushtaq Ali Trophy specialist, I hadn't really heard of him before. So, James, tell me more about him.
There's not a ton of data on him. He hasn't played that many games. If I have a look, I've got a feeling he's only played 11 matches. As in at a sort of professional level, 9 of which he's batted in. So he averages in T20s 49 at strike rate of 134. Now, obviously, it's such a small sample size that it just shows that he's coming in at sort of 4, and he's quite often a bit of a finisher role. Again, he hasn't really teed off to any large degree yet, but he plays in a team with pretty good players. Yeah, he's from Uttar Pradesh, which is the northern part of India, the best part of India, I can say as a Punjab fan. And he bats in the same team so he bats just after Nitish Rana and in front of Rinku Singh and Dhruv Jurel in that side. So it's a team of good top order players and some very good finishers. So if he's ahead in the order of Rinku Singh and Dhruv Jurel, he's got to be pretty special. He's only 20.
And also
the
teams were keeping on raising the price for him. Like they kept going up and up. And I know that Suresh Raina rates him very highly. He's been named as like a right-handed Suresh Raina, who is obviously Chennai royalty. So there's obvious reasons why Chennai paid so much for him. And I think he's got a good uncapped potential, really. I think that's what they see him as. So yeah, it'll be interesting to see. Yeah, should we look at our 12s?
Yes, so I'll kick off. I'm quite excited for this. So I have got Devon Conway and Ruturaj Gaikwad opening, both kind of anchors, but they're both pretty good. I've then gone for Moeen Ali at number 3 instead of Rachin Ravindra. I just think Ravindra's more cover, to be honest. Daryl Mitchell 4, Shivam Dubey 5, MS Dhoni 6, Ravi Jadeja 7, Shardul Tucker 8, Deepak Chahar 9, Mukesh Chowdhury at 10, and Theek Sharna at 11. And then I have gone for Rizvi as my impact player over Ajinkya Rahane. I just think, why not? You know, if you've got a young, exciting batter who has all this potential, as long as he, looks like he's performing in the nets and stuff, then get him in. Sounds like a good laugh. What's your 12 bench?
So I'm struggling a little bit. But
it's hard when it's your own team, to be fair.
It is. Currently what I've got though is Gaikwad, Conway, Moeen. I'm sticking with that. And then I've actually gone for Ajinkya Rahane at 4 because he had a fantastic year last year. Shivam Dubey 5, Jadeja 6, Dhoni 7, then Shardul Tucker and Deepak Chahar at 8 and 9. I then got Tushar Deshpande, but it's between him and Patarana at this point. For that last pace spot, I've got Theek Sharna at 11. He's the top class spinner in that side. And then I've got either Mukesh Chowdhury or if Patarana doesn't play, then Patarana becomes that impact player spot.
I've gone fairly similar to you all, although I've put Daryl Mitchell in there at 4 and Ajinkya Rahane at 3. My last 4 is pretty much the same. I've got Deshpande as the impact player. So yeah, fairly similar to what you've all said. Samir Rizvi, if he comes in, then I see him coming in at that number 4 spot instead of Daryl Mitchell, and then they have enough freedom to bring in another overseas player, so they could bring in Mitch Santner if their batting has been going well all season, or they could bring in Ratchan Ravindra or Moeen Ali if they need extra support with the batting and a bit more support with the spin. Because at the moment, they're relying on Jadeja and Theekshana. And Theekshana, some games he went for a bit of tap last season, whereas the season before he was awesome. So yet to see if he's going to be a reliable option again in this season. And also, Theekshana was used at the death. So although I do agree with you, James, I do think they've missed out on a better backup or a first choice overseas seam bowler to bowl at the death. I think Theekshana does provide a bit of cover there as well.
Yeah. So that's our opinion. We are really interested to know what you guys think. So do leave it down in the comments. Do you think Chennai had a good auction, a medium auction, or a bad auction? Do you think that they will play the 12s that we said? Obviously, it's a 12 because it's got the impact player. Let us know. Write down what your 11s or 12s would be in the comments. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you for continued support. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Become a member. It really helps us out. It's just, it supports us. And we'll see you next time. Goodbye.